Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Women of Color in Intimate Conversation. I'm so excited to have Tashana with us today. She is a powerhouse. She's an Army Airborne veteran. She comes with receipts. If you see behind her, she has all the medals. And yeah, she literally jumped out of planes. She's also an actress, runway queen, dancer, and an 8-time all-natural bikini bodybuilding champion. And she's showing us a little bit of that today. So we see you, girl. On top of that, she's an ISSA certified personal trainer dedicated to helping women unlock their strength and confidence. And let's not forget, she's a powerhouse in Chris's Ambitious Women. So if you all recall, we did my very first group recording, and it was with Chris Gordon and several of her ambitious women. We actually did it in 2 parts. I just dropped the most recent one. Actually, when you all see this, it will have been out there for a while. But anyway, so she's part of Chris's crew. So that's how we got connected. And just a little bit more about Chris's crew and Tashana. They're empowering high achieving women who are breaking barriers and redefining success on their own terms. Tashana, welcome to the show.
Yeah,
How are you feeling today?
I am feeling great. Thank you so much for having
Yeah,
me.
absolutely. So let's start at the beginning. Your journey as an Army Airborne veteran. So jumping out of planes, operating under extreme pressure, that takes serious courage. What inspired you to serve?
Um, I come from a military background. My parents were both Navy veterans. But honestly, I never planned on going into the military. I was like, that's not the life for me. But I got into entertainment and it just kind of felt like I was living life based on how I looked. And I kind of wanted to challenge myself with something else and see if I could make it doing something else. So I was like, let me try the army, let me see. Because
Just
I'm not getting
casually.
on
Let me just do
no
that.
yeah, because I'm not getting on nobody's water. So, I was like, let me do the army, be a little different from my parents. And just really challenge myself to, physically and mentally, and that's kind of like what sparked it. I just kind of wanted to change in my life. At that time, I was old for the military, but I was still a young person. I was like 24 when
Oh,
I went in.
okay.
Yeah.
And so, like so for those who are watching, so you see it, but those who are listening, she has a bunch of medals behind her, and so obviously, that's a demonstration of her discipline. So, how did your military mindset, the discipline, the resilience, pushing past fear, shape the way you approach your career now?
Um, it really shaped me because my job, not only did I jump out of planes, I packed parachutes for the other people to jump out of planes with. And one of the things that we had to do daily was a motto or mantra stating that I will be perfect today. And that carried a lot of weight, knowing that we had the responsibility of someone else's lives in our hands. And I think that translated well with me for bodybuilding because it is a sport where you have to continuously go back to the drawing board to essentially try to reach perfection. So I think that really helped me as far as being able to hone in and be dedicated and focused on a goal.
Yeah, and so it just hit me what you said, what you were doing. And then you made that shift. So you've been a competitive cheerleader, majorette dancer, and track athlete for 20 years. Was
Mhm.
young Tashana always this unstoppable force?
Yes, I would say she was probably more unstoppable than I am now. I'm a little more reserved. Um, My mom was a big advocate of mine, and she was very shy growing up, so she didn't enter into a lot of different sports or activities, but she was very creative. So I believe with me being her firstborn, she wanted me to just be in everything, just go out there, do everything. You can do anything you put your mind to, was what she constantly drilled into me. Um, and so I just had my cape on, as a little girl, like I can do anything, I can go anywhere. Um, so yeah, for sure.
And you know what? And so what that does is that lets us know that when people pour into you, right? When they believe you, when they let you believe into yourself and really promote that, you're unstoppable, right? You can do
Yes.
whatever it is that you want because again, you shifted from you said entertainment to jumping out of planes. Like, who does that? Like there was no in between. It was like far, the opposite,
Yeah.
polar opposite.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, wait a minute, hold up, let's run that back. She said,
Yeah.
and so this
Yeah.
podcast is about empowering women, right? And so
Yes.
definitely you being able to shift that way, pivot that way, a huge way is important to those who are listening and watching. So at what
Mhm.
moment did you realize that your talents, passion, and discipline could turn into a career that does that, empower and impact other people?
Um, I think it really hit me when, I mean, in entertainment, I definitely had a lot of people reach out to me with my stage shows saying that they loved it and, but that was just it. They loved it. They were able to appreciate the art. But when I really switched into bodybuilding and I started documenting my journey from the beginning, um, people were reaching out to me saying, "Man, you're really inspired. You inspired me to work out, or you inspired me to get into the gym, or wow, look at your journey. It's just inspiring, just in life in general." And that's kind of like when it hit me, like, wow, I'm just doing me over in my little corner, and you know, um, it was humbling and honoring, at the same time, like, wow, like I can give back more of what my mom poured into me into other people, with just doing what I love to do. That's kind of when it clicked for me.
That's awesome. Doing what you love to do,
Mhm.
pouring into
Mhm.
other people. And that's probably also why you are, you kind of connected with Chris and her other ambitious women, a community built around leveling up and owning your power.
Yes.
What has being in this space done for you personally, being a part of Chris's crew, as I call it?
Chris's crew, right? Oh my, she's such a beautiful spirit, and for me, growing up, I was always the outcast or the black sheep, even though I was on tons of teams and groups. I was still kind of always like the loner, the popular loner, and really kind of like afraid to be my full self, around others. So linking with Chris has really provided me um, with the outlet to kind of be myself, and know that there's not going to be any judgment and that there's going to be support and encouragement from other women that look like me, and that's a big thing for me, so that really helps, especially when I go into my dark times and, getting ready for a show. She'll randomly, send me an uplifting message or video or something just to say, hey, I love you, I see you, I'm encouraging you, keep going. And it's always at the perfect time, so I'm truly grateful, that we have this space. We need more. We need more like it.
We absolutely do, right? No, and right now, like it seems like just about every podcast recording that I've done, we talk about community, right?
Mhm.
And just in space and on social media, community, because we're living in a time where we need each other. I would say in
Yes.
our lifetime more so than we ever have before. We need
Mhm.
that community, we need that collectivism, we need that connection. And so I'm glad that you found your sisterhood and that you're, rolling with that you have a Chris who reaches out, who knows intuitively, okay, so Tashana, she needs to hear from me today. So let
Yes.
her. And that's what the sisterhood is about. So I'm so glad you found yours. And again, those who are listening or watching, if you don't have a community yet, make one, right?
Oh,
Join.
come on over.
Right, right. Come on over. Like, reach out. Like,
Come on
definitely, because
over. Yes.
the women that have been on a podcast, they are definitely open to the sisterhood, to community. So reach out, right? To any
Yes.
of us. So you mentioned a dark time, right? So that could also be feeling stuck, uninspired, or alone. What would you
Mhm.
say about the importance of putting yourself in rooms that challenge and elevate you, right? What we're talking about.
Yes, yes, for sure. I would say it's absolutely necessary, and it is scary, especially if you're a person that doesn't like to be around other people. Sometimes you need that challenge
Mhm.
because that could be the spark. It's not always about what you're going to do, it's about the intention that you set, and if you set the intention to be in the right place at the right time, or you set the intention that opportunity always finds me, then
Mm,
even if that space that you go to isn't the space that you feel is for you, it may be the spark that you need to get you to the next place. So I feel that it's very important to go to other places, especially if there's people that know more than you.
yeah.
Like I will forever be a student. I love to learn and be around other people that are going to teach me something that I didn't know, or give me a new perspective on something that I didn't necessarily think about or see in that way. I think it's very important for us as women, especially, to challenge ourselves and grow, see what's out there. You
Yeah.
never
And
know.
I love that you said opportunity finds you. I love that, right? Because I definitely believe in manifesting, attracting and manifesting. I definitely believe that's true. And I love
Hmm.
that perspective that opportunity finds you. Like, yes, position yourself to be found. Like, put yourself
Yes.
out there, like, know what it is you want, and then put yourself out there. Like, you can't just say you want a thing and then don't do anything, right? It has to be
Exactly.
backed up with action, right?
Yes,
It has to
yes,
be backed up with
exactly.
action.
Yeah, even if you're a religious person,
Mhm.
and you say, I'm relying on God, God is gonna take care for it. God still wants you to put forth the effort. If there's no effort towards the want, why is he gonna give it to you?
Exactly. I mean, that's the whole thing about
That's
faith.
just letting them know
Faith
you're
without
not
work.
ready.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, God wants to see, what are you going
Yeah.
to do with this thing? Like, I'm going to give this to you. What are you going to do with it? Or, oh, okay, you
Yes.
saying you want this. What are you going to do to have that? Instead of just waiting on
Yes.
me, like, no, that's not how we work. That's not how this works.
Yes. You have to act like you already have it.
Okay. All of the things. Move forward. Like, it's motion. You need to be in motion. It's a verb,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's definitely manifesting is a verb. It's something that's happening. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and even with that, the manifesting, because you think of it from a spiritual perspective, you're still doing, right? You
Exactly.
still have to say,
Hmm.
"Oh, I want this thing. I want this thing to come to me. What does this thing look like?" And then again, what did you say? Opportunity finds me, right?
Right.
You're putting yourself
Hmm.
in position. Again, it's an act. It's a verb. So
Yes.
you made the leap from dance and arts to become an 8-time bikini bodybuilding champion. What
Yes.
prompted that shift
Um, you said from body.
to bikini build, bikini bodybuilding?
Uh-huh.
So what you
Okay,
went
the
from
leap
dance
from
and
dance and
art.
the arts. Um, okay, so my mom
Mm,
inspired that shift. So in life and in transition, my mom passed away suddenly. She was my best friend in the whole wide world, and that was something that I was not prepared for. So mentally, I was just somewhere else. Long story short, what I tried to do is I was contracted already for a play that I was a lead role in when my mom passed, and they offered me to step out of the role. I just saw a butterfly. I'm sorry. That was my mommy.
Oh.
Because this is making me a little emotional. But I stepped out of the role. Well, they asked if I wanted to step out of the role, and I said no. I've already committed to it. I'm gonna finish it. But it was hell. Honestly, it was torture. I couldn't tell you anything about the play except the name of it, because I was just so mentally not there. And acting requires such a vulnerability, and I just felt like, okay, this is it. I can't do this anymore. So I tried to move to California, and start over. I'm like, hey, maybe if I go in a town where the arts are alive and entertainment is here, I'll feel better, because I can create through my pain.
Mm,
I was like, this ain't it. This not the move. I lost everything. So I ended up having to come back to Virginia. And a friend of mine invited me to a bodybuilding show. And I went to the show and I was like, oh my God. Like, ah. It's like kind of like what it
yeah.
was like for me. Like, I was like, oh my God, there's a pageant and it's athletics. It's like, this is perfect for me. Like, so I took that as a sign. And that's ultimately how I made the leap from entertainment into bodybuilding, was to give myself something, a structured regimen, to kind of get myself out of depression.
Yeah. So let's just
Yes.
talk about that move for a moment. So you mentioned that you moved to California, you had certain expectations um that were not met. You said you lost everything and then had to move back. Do you think that had you not moved to California that you would not have found yourself again, this new version of yourself? Do you have you reflected on the move as being a necessary step in your journey?
Yes. I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And I spent a lot of time reflecting on what that reason could have been.
Yeah. Hmm.
um, but through everything that happened to me in California, I tell a lot of people I ended up being homeless in California, living on a beach in a tent. And it was the best time
Yeah.
in my life.
I was gonna say, girl, that don't sound bad because I was
But
thinking, I'm
Lord,
like, as
I
long
wish
as you
I could
wasn't
go
under the
back.
overpass, you good, girl. As long as you
All
was
the
not in a camper under the overpass with everybody else.
Exactly. And that's how it was. We had our own little community. The laws had just passed in California where you could legally sleep overnight on the beach in a tent.
Okay.
So it lined up, somebody out there gave me a nice, really nice tent. And I was like living my best life in a tent on the beach,
On the beach.
playing drums every weekend.
All
We
that.
had a little community. It was
Mm,
it was
community.
the
There we
most
go.
freeing time. Yeah, and I was really able to get in touch with my feelings. And, I missed my son. I did not take my son with me. Um, but it allowed me, I believe that happened. So, God allowed me the time to heal, a little from losing my mom, So yeah, it was good in it, I feel it definitely happened for a reason, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I mean, what ended up happening was beautiful, right? And again, the way that you were homeless, the positivity around that, because it could have been worse, right? Uh,
Right.
and you did find your community. You found yourself. You were able to get what you needed
Mhm.
emotionally, right? And then
Yes.
come back a better version of yourself and ready for what was next, which again is the bodybuilding. So the bodybuilding is about way more than just lifting weights. It's a
Mhm.
mental game too. What was the biggest mind shift you had to make to become a champion?
Excuse me. The biggest mind shift I had to make was, um, it, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do it.
Mm,
There's no half stepping. With bodybuilding, a lot of people start, but they don't finish. They don't make it to the stage. And that was something that I was adamant about, that was not gonna be me. So I think that was the biggest mind shift for me, was like, hey, we're gonna have to cut out going out. We're gonna have to cut out drinking. We're gonna have to cut out, hanging with our friends. We're going to have to cut out vacations. We're going to have to cut pretty much everything, you're going to have to cut it out. And are we okay with that? Yes, because I was already in a space where I didn't want to be bothered with people. So
I was like, okay, easy. Yeah, done. That part.
it just kind of all lined up, So yeah.
And like I said, this podcast is about empowering women. So for women who want to get stronger, feel more confident, or even step into the world of competing, what's the first step?
Set an intention. And then not I would challenge you to set an emotional intention behind that,
Mm,
because let's say, for example, I want to lose 15 pounds, why? I
mm,
want to lose 15 pounds so that I'm healthier,
mm,
Okay, I like that. But why? There's
mm.
another real reason why you want to be healthier. Well, honestly, I want to live long enough to see my kids get married. I want to live long enough to see grandkids, whatever your why may
Right.
be, you have to attach something emotional to it and set that intention. Because you can say, I want to lose 15 pounds from here until the moon turns yellow, but until you have a why behind why you want to do that, then you can connect to your emotions, and now it really means something and you can go after it. So whether that's just getting in the gym to be more healthy, or getting ready for a stage competition, or whatever the
Mm.
goal may be, getting ready for your summer body,
And I love
um
I love that you said really what I'm hearing is drill down on your why, right? Like
Mhm.
that surface why is not really it. Like go a
Yeah.
little bit deeper, and because I do believe you do need to know your why and then back into it. But what
Hmm.
you've given me is a different perspective of it's not just the why, it's the why below the why below the why.
Yes,
So
the
go a little
real
bit.
reason.
Yeah, the one that's going to actually lock you in because, yeah, oh, I want to lose 15. Okay. So,
Why?
right? Like
Yeah,
you
and
start, you're
then
like, that's okay. Right. But no, when you get that deeper, intentional why, then you're kind of locked in. So you
yeah.
mentioned your son. So you're a full-time mom to your teenage son. It's Josiah.
Josiah, yes.
Okay. So while coaching, competing, and mentoring, how do you balance it all?
A strict calendar.
Okay.
um but honestly, I do. I have a dry erase board calendar in my room that I fill out every day with or monthly, with my time slots and things that I need to do and take care of. And he does go to public school, so I do have that window, when he's in school, to kind of get some other things done. But when he's out of school, it's taxi cabs and game and um being there for him. So I kind of balance my schedule so that I can take care of most of my clients and the things that I need to take care of before he gets out of school.
And it goes back to that discipline, right? So what we talked about earlier, being disciplined. Did you have this discipline before you went into the military?
9. Sorry, my dog.
Were you disciplined before you went into the military?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I still struggle with it to this day, if I'm going to be honest, it's still something that I actively have to work on, because I'm such a free spirit and I'm so very like ADD, like, oh, a butterfly, oh, twinkles, oh my God, I want to go do this. Oh, well, I want to do that, so it's hard to keep myself focused. So if I don't make a schedule, then I'm just kind of like here and there and everywhere.
How did you
So
get
I
through
was
the
definitely
military?
not, I
How
was
did you
definitely
get through
not
the military
regimented.
being such a free spirit?
Yeah, that's why I only did one term
Ah,
because
like, okay, this is enough. Did it.
this was fun. This was a nice experience. Thank you
Uh-huh.
guys. It's been real. I'm out. I'll take my benefits and be gone.
Right. Okay, noted.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
I loved it. It taught me a lot, but
right.
yeah, I was just too. I want to do my own thing, and every day y'all got something for me to do. I'm just tired. Leave me alone, you
Right.
know? So
And it's okay to try those different things, right? So that's how you
yeah,
know if you like it or if you don't like it. And there is something to take away from it, right? Like you said.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of the biggest lessons motherhood has taught you that show up in how you lead and inspire others?
Patience,
Okay.
patience
Hmm.
and grace.
Hmm.
Um, Being a single mom, I have to be mom and dad, you know? So, um, I have to find a balance, you know, with my son because I want him to make his own decisions and be his own person. I know that I'm here just to guide, you
Yeah.
know, him. So I don't want to impose my will upon him. And I take that mostly with my clients and how I guide them and help them through what they're doing. I give them the steering wheel and I'm in the passenger seat, if you will, you know, to encourage and say, hey, you got this. And then say, it's okay, you know, if you messed up or we didn't reach the goal that we wanted to reach this week. That's okay, you know, that's the grace, you know, but still have to be firm in saying, but we have to cut back on this. No, I'm not gonna let that slide, you know, like I try to I try to be good cop, bad cop, you know, and that comes with a lot of patience and grace.
And so when you're guiding, let's say your clients and they're feeling like they have to choose between family, career, and personal dreams, what do you say to them?
I say you can have it all.
Okay. How?
who said who
How do we have it
said
all?
who said that you gotta pick? You know,
Right,
nobody.
right.
That's what they used to always tell me when I first got into entertainment. Do you want to sing? Do you want to dance? Do you want to act? You have to pick.
I'm like, no,
No,
not
I want to do everything. I want to do it all. You know, um, and it's all about, again, it goes back to intention and discipline, setting that schedule and saying, okay, I'm going to be a mom. It's 24/7, but what time can you find to, hey, um I have 10 minutes to, you know, to myself. Okay, so use that 10 minutes and meditate. Or use that 10 minutes and hit, you know, some abs or legs or, you know, whatever. But try and break up your schedule so that it fits to your life instead of trying to make your life fit into, you know, some schedule. You know, we can create our own.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a proponent of that. Like when I was in corporate, I operated or in a work life integration. Like people say, "Oh, balance." No, not a balance. It's an integration. It's
Mm-hmm.
all, together because I had I was blessed to have my career, my dream career. So
Right.
for the last 5, 6 years, I was doing what I loved. I would tell people that I was being paid to passionately pursue my purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
everything I was just came together. Like it wasn't like, oh, okay, it's 5 o'clock. Now I shut off and I turn to something else. It's all
Right.
together. And even my
Mm-hmm.
son, because like my son, he's 23 and
Mm-hmm.
he got his degree, hospitality, tourism, and event management. And he said, well, mom, like I know the event part. Like I can put together an event like nothing because of you. Like you didn't even
Mm-hmm.
know that this was happening. But as I was growing up, I picked those things up. Like I
Mm-hmm.
learned those things from you, from the things that you were doing. So I'm solid in this particular area because
Yeah.
of you. And so
Oh, that's
again, the
sweet.
integration, like I integrated my son into what I was doing as well. And now, it's his career.
Yeah, I love that. I love you. Go girl.
I know, and it's crazy because the thing about it is
Mhm.
years ago, I wanted to work in event planning. Like I didn't even know what it's called. I just know I wanted to do
Mhm.
it. Like I used to go to concerts and I'm like, I want to do this, whatever
Mhm.
this is. And so eventually I learned, oh, okay, it's event planning, it's event management, whatever, it's events. And then
Right.
for, years, now my son, that's his career. That's
That's his
his thing.
passion. Look at God.
Right?
You know,
Yeah, won't he
look.
will.
Yes.
Okay, so Tashana, you're the definition of ambition, resilience, and reinvention. If there's
Yes.
one message you want every listener to take away today, what is it?
Oh, what is it? Well, I think it's what I just said earlier. You can have it all.
Mhm.
You can have literally anything that you want in this world. You all you have to do is put your mind to it, you know. And I know it sounds cliche and everybody says it but it really is that simple, you know. Make a plan. Get one person that believes in you, and that's it. You
Yeah.
know, the rest is history, you know. Um, and if you don't have one person, find me because
Yeah.
I'll be that person. You know, like because that is really what I want. You know, the world would be such a better place if everybody did what they love to do.
Oh my God, right? Oh, and that's what part of me. So as a dream life coach, that's what I'm promoting to people. Like, do that thing you love. Like I retired early, and I'm not saying you have to retire, but what I do want is for you to figure out what you love, what gives you
Yes.
joy, and to do more of that. So you've
Yes.
been dropping some gems. So for right, so when things get tough, what's the personal mantra or mindset shift that keeps you pushing forward?
If it were easy, everybody would do it.
Hmm.
Um, that's the one. That's the one that keeps me going because I'm so competitive, you know, um, and I want to be on top. And that's what you have to remind yourself is that if it was easy, whatever your goal is, you can apply that to whatever. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, you know, but it's your lane. You were created for it. It was made for you. That's why you have a passion for it. So go and get it, you know, and that's what keeps me going.
I love it. I love it. So what's next for you?
I have my first competition for the season is May 10th, Mother's Day weekend,
Oh,
honor of my mommy, in Baltimore, Maryland. So that's the next thing that I have coming up for this season.
and so people, in the show notes, you'll have ways to connect with Tashana. And as she said, you're needing community. She's here for you. You're wanting to know about, competitions, coaching. She definitely can help you with that. And so, Tashana, before we wrap, what's one last thing? What's one piece of advice for the ambitious women listening right now, ready to take action today?
Hey sis, hey black girl magic. Okay, go out here and do what you do and do it like nobody else. Like I mean, that's my advice because I just feel like we are just so amazing and all you have to do is let your light shine. You
Yeah.
know, we were all created um to be light. So just let it shine. This little light of mine. You know that song like let your light shine. Like, you know? That would be my advice, honestly, you know, on the spot off the top of my head, you know,
Oh, I
like
love that. I mean, and that's great
just
about, I mean, honestly, like I said, you dropped so many gems, right? I really like the one opportunity finds me. So
Mhm.
I really, want to sit with that particular one. And just several others that you dropped that I'm like, dang, I should have wrote that down. So we'll make
Thank
sure,
you.
we'll be able to see that in the transcript and then also when we're listening or watching.
Mhm.
So Tashana, I have so appreciated you um lending your voice on women of color and intimate conversation. Y'all that are listening or watching, she just dropped a masterclass in ambition, resilience, and leveling up. So thank you,
Thank
Tashana,
you.
for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Janine. It's been such a pleasure.
Yes.